Good evening. Happy Tuesday or Wednesday for you, whatever day it is. Hello, Inspire. How you doing? Oh man, you're here fast. Hockey, what's up? Yellow, how are you doing? How's life? Oh, Artwork Studios here. Oh man, the gang is all here. Look at us. Ready to rock and roll here. Oh wait, I mean, hey yeah. Hello, Artwork Studios. How's life? How's the world treating you today? Oh, finals week? Whew. Inspire. I do not envy you. Yeah, I don't envy you, but good luck, man. I hope it goes well for you. Excuse me. Hockey Life's Fair, early bird. Nice. So it's early for you? Because it's late for me. It's 9:14 p.m. over here. I'm kind of scared, though can't find my RBT book. What's a RBT book? Oh, to your stream? Yes, you guys are the early birds. Wahib90 said hello. Hello, Wahib. Hockey, I'm an hour behind. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're right abouts on the same time frame. All right. Well, I need to re-implement my async lock here because I did it wrong. So what I really need is I need another class here that's called a this actually could be a private class. This is going to be lock releaser. And it's going to be an I disposable. And it's going to be a private read-only semaphore slim. Yep. And then we want to public. Yep, like that. Let's see, do we want to do... I don't think I need to do that. I think I just want to do if dispose return. There we go. Yep, add some braces. So I'm going to call this internal. Okay, then up here, instead of releasing this, we can say, what can we say? Hello, Florencia. How are you doing? Artwork Studio. Search RBT online because I don't know how to explain it. RBT. What'd you say? RBT book? Registered Behavioral Technicians? Is that what you're talking about? That's part of your coursework? Yeah, you should probably find that book. It looks like it's kind of expensive. Ogulkan per Pirim. Hello, how are you, Ogulkan? I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but... Try the full name. RBT is a subject. Reka Bintuk Don Technology? I don't know if I said any of that right, but okay. Let me try to Google that real quick. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. What language is that? Let's see what Google Translate says. Oh, design and technology? Yeah, you probably should find that book, man. That's funny. Malay. Yeah, that's right. Malay. Yeah, you've told me that before. I'm fine. What about you? The correct way is Oyulkan, where G letter is silent only for transition. Olkan? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. I'm bad. I'm bad at pronouncing names. I apologize. Rick Nutter, are we vibe coding? No, we're not Rick Nutter. Nice username, buddy. We are not vibe coding. As Bobby Boucher's mom would say, vibe coding is of the devil. We're not big vibe coding fans over here. Hello, Ravi. How are you? Thanks for saying hi, man. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so this needs to return an I disposable. This needs to say exactly that. This should also implement Yeah, disposable. Okay, I think that should work for what we need. Alright, now we need to go back to our Discord client. And now we need to use it. So we need to say using using var lock. Oh, that's a keyword. So we do something like that. Or can we just do that? I think we can just do that, can't we? Or do we have to wrap it? So we have to wrap all of this. We need to do the same thing here. Basically, anywhere where we're accessing state, the shared state, we need to lock. Robbie, hold on. Ulcan Prim. Happy coding. See you, man. Have a good night. Hockey, vibe coding for prototyping, yay or nay? I'm not a big vibe coding guy, but I could see it being good for prototyping. What are you working on? I'm working on how to talk to the Discord API, is what I'm doing right now. Eventually, I hope to build a Discord bot. Oxnell, what are you building? Yep, a Discord bot. Unique UX. Hello, Unique UX. How are you? Robbie says use JS for that. Use JS for everything, dude. Come on. JavaScript's okay, but I would much rather write TypeScript. And above TypeScript, I think I would much rather write C# in most cases. Oxnell, what editor is this? This is NeoVim. Unique UX. Can we get updates on how the total cups the total cups coffee you've committed to your stomach? This would be like my 4th one today, so not a ton. Oxnell, I mean NeoVim in Windows and PowerShell. Yeah, man. That's how we're rolling over here on this side of the world. Robbie says vibe coding only good when you want to vibe not coding. Yeah, that's a fair statement, man. That is a very fair statement. Whoops. Put that in there. You know what though? I don't know if I should do that because it won't ever exit. That'll never give up the lock. So I think instead what we need to do is we need to say we should probably say something like var probably should say we should probably lock before we read. So we should probably say something like var let's see, web socket state current state. And then we should probably say using await lock async. Pass in the cancellation token. Current state. Why is that complaining? Yeah, I don't know if I need to. I don't know. Do I need to lock on that before I check it? There's kind of a time of check, time of use issue there. Oxno, well, good luck. That was kind of the most condescending good luck ever. Say Tab McNabb over here with Copilot. Oxno, well, I'm gonna be honest. Vibe coding kept my job for the last few weeks. Well, that's great, man. That's awesome. It's not a vibe at all. It's just frustrating. Wait, why don't you use Linux, Steven? Just because I have been developing on Windows basically since I started learning how to code, and I enjoy it. Actually, Steven, how do you boot NeoVim? I just have it installed on Windows. I installed it with Wingit. Nothing fancy. I thought you needed CMD for terminal apps. I'm not sure what you mean. Also, why did my music stop? Oh no, did Lo-Fi Generator finally give up on us? See, Mint on my secondary machine, I use mainly Windows still. Yeah, I mean, I have WSL and I have VPSs that I can use Linux on. So if I want to do Linuxy things, I can do Linuxy things, but oh no, the silence is deafening. It's deafening, the silence. Yo, did Lo-Fi Generator crash? What are we gonna do for music? That's wild. Hey, Arkin, how are you, man? US hacker. Shit clown? Is that what you're trying to say? Nice emojis. I don't know what your other two emojis mean. Oxnell. I always thought of NeoVim as confusing as fuck. I don't know. I think it's pretty. I mean, I definitely think getting used to Vim motions is a thing, but after a little bit of time, you get used to it. Ravi, it's a skill issue. Oh man, lo-fi generators down. Well, let's just make sure it's not my internet. Nope, it's not my internet. Huh. Well, I guess we're gonna have to figure out some other music. Yeah. I don't. What are we gonna do? We're down bad. Oxnell. I'm using Ubuntu at work now, and honestly, I'm struggling because all the infrastructure we have is one Windows, Teams, SharePoint, Outlook. Oh yeah, that would be frustrating. I think that's a real consideration when you're dealing with That's a real consideration when you're dealing with needing to do productivity related things, right? Or even content creation related things. If you're on Linux, right, and you have to, there's some things that just don't play nicely with Linux. Unique UX just got slammed by a Nightbot. Lo-fi girl always live. Yeah, I don't know. Is that music? Does that music get you copyright striked? Ravi, use typewriter. Yeah, you could always go back to using a typewriter. It's a real thing, man. Oxnell, yes, and I work in cybersecurity. Yeah, that could be frustrating, man. That could be frustrating. That's actually, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to daily drive Linux at the moment, is doing content creation things. I don't want to go through all the pain that would be involved to switch workflows to Linux. I'd basically, in my mind, I'd basically have to have two setups. I'd have to do a Linux setup for development or coding related things, and then I need a Windows setup to do content productivity related things. And that just seems like not fun to have to maintain two setups. Yeah, we're gonna try to rectify the music situation here because the silence is deafening. I wonder if we just cost them too much money. Dual booting, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to have to deal with two different things. I've got enough. I'm a 32-year-old dad of two. I've got enough things that I'm responsible for in my life. I don't need two different computers that I need to keep up with. Yeah, let's do some searching. I feel really bad if that guy had like a big ass bill from us streaming his. Yeah, the only thing with YouTube is we have to deal with ads. Yeah, see, like this is an ad. This says it's royalty free, but I wonder if it really is. Oh, you need an Envato Elements subscription. Well, I don't want to pay. I don't really want to pay subscription for royalty free music. Oh man, maybe I'm gonna have to bite the bullet. This is completely derailing the stream tonight. My dad always used to say, "That's just another mouth feed." It's true, man. You know, you get to be a dad and you get to have some dependents, and all of a sudden, that's how you view the world. Unique UX. You need a dog. I do have a dog. I have a dachshund. His name's Opie. Finally, that lo-fi girl got to sleep. Yeah, she did get to sleep. Yeah, I guess I'll just do. I don't honestly don't know if there's a copyright issue, but I'm gonna just screw it for the purposes of tonight. Who cares? Who cares? You guys let me know if that's too loud. Unique UX reported. Yeah, maybe. See you, Ravi. See you later, man. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about. I could use free. I think Free Code Camp has a radio. Right? I think Free Code Camp has a radio. We could use them. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna take out your guys' ears if I'm not careful. It's not quite the same, but it'll do, I think, in a pinch. Just let me know if it's too loud. If it's too loud for you guys, let me know. I honestly thought you were the coding with Lewis guy. Oxnell, you won't believe it. You're like the you're probably like the 10th person who said that. That's hilarious. Lake Shaya. This is C# is what I'm working in right now. Sogo reported. Unique UX. Those people put their hearts and soul into their music craft, and you're just going to listen to it with your corporate greed. Well, you know, I mean, that's fair. You can look at it that way. That's totally fair. Let's see. My friend had errors in his AI project. I used Grok all night and fixed all the issues. I have never worked in AI before. Is this how normally works? Is this how normally work is done in the industry? Just curious to know. No, Mosadiq, I don't think that's common, but I'm glad you had a good experience using AI. Artwork Studios, it's good. Stream. Okay, cool, man. Appreciate it. JFK, sheesh. MVim and PowerShell is a diabolical combo. JFK, you're also like the 10th person to tell me that. I feel like people who work on Macs or Linux for some reason feel they have a claim to NeoVim. Or people or like that NeoVim can't be used outside of ZSH or Bash. Unique UX. No, you usually start by struggling with the most basic issue and do that for like 6 months straight. So that's what I did anyway. Yeah, that's so true. That's how work normally gets done. Mustafa, man, my mind is exhausted because of the C#. Wait, you don't like C#? Mustafa? Oxnell, I mean, you had one job. Yes, I did. I did have one job, and I failed. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. This is a bad idea. I had to do this. So where else should I lock? See, I should lock here. And I should also lock here. Whoops. Yeah, I'm wondering if it wouldn't be better instead of doing that. I think we should move that check into here and say using, yeah. That's what we should do. JFK, what are you working on, by the way? It's going to eventually be a Discord bot, but right now I'm just kind of doing a lot of the plumbing for managing. If you've ever used Discord's Gateway API, I don't know how many people have actually used it. A lot of people probably use Discord.js, and so they never have to do this or never have to worry about it. Discord.js just takes care of all this. But whenever you're talking to their gateway API, you have to manage the connection in a very specific way. And so right now I'm working on managing that connection. And at the moment, I'm trying to go through my code and identify places where there could be race conditions because I'm accessing shared state across potentially different threads or different tasks. And so I'm trying to put locks in place so that I don't try to read shared state without acquiring a lock. And I don't try to write to shared state without acquiring a lock first. So I don't have weird, strange race conditions happening. KS, what lang? This is C#. JFK, he already answered that. Oxnell, I just bought a MacBook, and man, it's so weird how much you need to customize everything for the developer experience. Yeah, I haven't done much development on a MacBook. I have a MacBook. I don't use it much. It just kind of sits down here. Occasionally I pick it up and give it some love every now and then, but haven't done much development on it. Unique UX. What do you think about an app where you rent drones? When you're logged in, you can race them for galactic credits. That sounds like a badass app. What is this code about? KS, this code, like I said, is about managing a connection to the Discord, gateway. So I am not a Discord mod. Uh-oh, did the stream just go down? Oh no, it was temporary. I'm not a Discord mod. I just have a Discord server. So there was a bunch of people in chat asked me to start a Discord, so I did. And so as a fun project, I thought, well, let's make a custom Discord bot for our Discord server. Actually, if you type !Discord, you can get the invite link in chat if you're curious. Man, my music going down really threw things off. Oh, look. It's back. It's back. I love it. It's back, man. Life is all as well in the world again. Let's see, Oxnell, what's your job if you don't mind me asking? So, if you're curious, you can actually get my LinkedIn by typing !LinkedIn, and you can see, you can find out all about my very eclectic work history. But currently, I work as a quality engineer, so I do manual and automated testing for a software company. Our Studios, how are you planning to host it, Steven? So once I get this Discord client code worked out, what I'll do is I'll migrate it to a proper project. And I'm going to use what's called in .NET, it's called a worker. Or a worker service, I guess you'd call it. And I'm just going to run this in a Docker container. So it'll look something like this, and it'll basically just run constantly in a Docker container on my VPS. The nice thing with the worker service template in .NET is it has all the, you basically get all the benefits of their hosting model, the .NET host. So you can do things like dependency injection, and it makes testing very easy. And Oxnell, nice. So a lot of Python? No, no Python. I know some Python. I avoid writing Python though, like the plague. All our automation is written in TypeScript, and then like our code base, like our proper code base we're a .NET shop. Chirac Parit, I'm not getting programming job after 2-year course. Ah, man, I'm sorry about that. I'm sure that's very frustrating because it sounds like you probably put a lot of time and effort into learning a skill, and it's very frustrating when you can't find a job. So I feel you, man. I don't know if I have really great advice to give you except to keep trying. I feel like getting a job, it largely comes down to a numbers game. Unfortunately, it also helps to know people. I think if you talk to most people, they'll tell you like a lot of the times the reason they got the job they have is because they knew somebody. So if you don't have a good network, or you haven't started trying to network, networking might be worth some effort. Like I don't know what it's like where you live, but where I'm at in Kansas City, there's several. There's not just several. There's many meetups, like small groups around different pieces of technology. So I go to a DevOps meetup. I go to a .NET meetup. I used to go to a JavaScript meetup, but that meetup hasn't been happening as frequently. But the more you can get out and meet other people who are working in companies in your area, I think that helps a lot. Sogo Steven sends a welcome card to your home for anyone who likes and subscribes. No, that's not real. Sogo is trolling. But I appreciate you, Sogo, for encouraging people to like the stream. That's very kind of you. Unique UX Republic credits are no good out here. I need something more real. Fair enough. Fair enough. Steven sounds like a kid when he said no Python. Yeah, so like I say we go gym now, or I say no Python. Unique UX. All right, I'm losing it. I'm leaving. Bye, y'all. See you, Unique UX. Have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by. KS, can you explain like what technologies are being used and where did you learn from? So I'm using C# and I'm using .NET, and I learned .NET and C# primarily by myself. I took like one Pluralsight course. Let me see if I can find it for you. Pluralsight, C#. I think the guy's name was Scott Allen. Yeah, this one. It was something like C# fundamentals with Scott Allen. I think this was I think it's probably been retired now because I took that quite a long time ago. But I took that course, and then I just watched a whole lot of YouTube and built a whole lot of projects in C# using .NET or on .NET. Oxnell, where are you from? I'm from Kansas City. Or I guess I grew up in a town in Missouri in the United States called Joplin. And then recently we moved to Kansas City about 4 or 5 years ago. So that's where I'm at now. KS. So are you creating a custom Discord bot kind of thing? Yeah, so the idea is basically, so let me go ahead and I can actually run this code real quick so you can kind of see what's going on. So the idea is that, and this diagram kind of, basically what will happen is my app will start up, it will initiate a connection with the Discord gateway. Once it goes through all the proper kind of initiation, so it has to make a connection, it has to start a heartbeat interval, it has to my app has to identify itself, and then Discord will pass back this ready event. And once I have this ready event, now all I do is I listen for events that are coming from Discord. So if a new person joins my server, Discord will send my app an event, and then my app can react to that event. And so initially, my initial feature is just to basically have my bot respond to a new user with like a custom welcome message. But my idea is then I can like expand that functionality over time. I can add as like we come up with fun things to do in our Discord server, we can have the bot do other things. And then there's some other stuff you have to implement here, like if the gateway disconnects, you have to be able to reconnect, and if you can resume, then you try to connect with a resume, which basically means if Discord disconnects you or cuts off your connection, you can try to reconnect, and then Discord will give you any messages that you missed while you were disconnected. So there's some nitty gritty to all this connection management, managing the state. If you're really interested in building a Discord bot, I would probably look at Discord.js, honestly. Like if you wanted to get something up and running today or within, a couple days, this would probably be the library you'd want to use because they make it very simple. They handle all that connection management for you. But I thought it would be fun to try to do this myself as a learning experience. But yeah, so I can show you this. Hold on real quick. Let me go here. We'll cd into Discord, playground, and then we'll say .NET run. And right now it just prints this to the console at the moment. So you can see it basically it attempted to connect to the Discord gateway. Then I started sending heartbeat intervals. I sent my identity to basically say, hey, this is me, I'm this app. And then Discord sent back this ready event. So now we're connected, and now I can start listening for messages, or events, I should say. So that's what it is. And that's what it'll be. I mean, once I get the connection logic written, like once I get this all worked out, how to manage the state, it should be as simple as Discord.js makes it. Optional. I got my job from socializing. Yeah, I agree, man. Networking is a powerful thing. Oxnell PowerShell plus NeoVim plus Edge. Damn, bro. Yeah, so the reason I use Edge, people have brought this up before too. The reason I use Edge, and the reason why I use Edge is really two reasons. So, like I said, my day job is as a quality engineer, so I do both automated and manual testing. And we build a web app, and so we basically decided that we should have people testing in different browsers all the time, just ambiently. And so my boss took Chrome and I took Edge, but secretly I picked Edge because Edge has first class support for vertical tabs, which you can do in Chrome, but you need a plugin to do it. And I much prefer vertical tabs. I know that's silly to be like the killer feature of why I picked my browser, but it is what it is. Expel. What is this? Is this coding? This is coding, Expel. Oxnell. I'm from Saudi Arabia. Oh, nice. I don't think we've ever had anybody from Saudi Arabia in the chat, or not that has ever declared themselves from Saudi Arabia. So, hello and welcome to you. KS, please answer. I think I answered. Did I answer you? Do you understand, KS, now what I'm doing? Expel. I'm from Thailand. Nice. I don't think we've had very many people from Thailand before. Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you. Expel. I'm leaving. I hate LOLs. My friend sent like 25,000 LOLs. Okay. Yeah, man. No worries. If you need to go because you can't stand the LOLs, no problem. Carter, what you working on? Carter, I'm working on what hopefully will be a a Discord bot someday. Our work studio. Should all of us work on a project together? Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Like, I think it'd be fun to have a Discord channel in the Discord server where we build something. I think that'd be fun. I don't know if you guys know about, there's a YouTuber named WebDev Cody. WebDev Cody. And he's got a great channel, great content. But I've seen like his subscribers and him, his chatters and him have worked on projects together, and I think that'd be kind of fun to do because I've contributed to some of the projects that they've done, and that was fun. What we would build, I don't know. Fujio, how to make bot? When I said check this Pokemon, then the bot can check if it's modded Pokemon or real. So I think if I've looked at Discord's API correctly, there should be an event that is fired when a message is sent. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it really quick. Let's see, gateway events. I think there's one that's like message. Yeah, message created probably. I imagine is probably the one you're looking for. So you could have a listener, right? You could basically have a callback that when the message create event happens, you could check and see if that message has that text. Check this Pokemon, right? And then you could write the code to check if the Pokemon is real or not. There's also something you can do in the Discord bots that's basically like slash commands. So you can also do commands, which I haven't really looked at too much. So your bot can also do commands, right? So you could probably implement a slash command that's like check this Pokemon, and that might be a simpler way to go about it than parsing every message. Because if your Discord's really active, that's a lot of messages you'd have to respond to. So maybe take a look at slash commands. I'm a total Discord API noob. I'm just learning it. But that might be something you look at. Oxnell, he calls extensions plugins. Damn. What I do, you mean? Our work studio is thinking about a tool that does everything, the ultimate bloatware. Yeah, I don't know about that. Arkin said web browsers. That is so accurate. Web browsers are the modern day operating systems. But one does not simply write a web browser. Yeah, there's that new one, right? What is it called? Ladybird? What's it? Is it called Ladybird or Ladybug? Yeah, this is wild. This thing, we're gonna eventually have a new browser, a new browser engine, and a new browser at some point. I think they said this is gonna come out in 2026 or something like that. I don't know. It'll be very exciting whenever this hits. Yeah, so it says summer of 2026. But it'd only be for those Linux and Mac OS users. Us Windows users will have to wait. I guess by the time summer 2026 comes around, I need to have a Linux daily driver, I guess is what that means. But yeah, that's pretty wild. This project is pretty pretty insanely ambitious. Carter, are you comfortable saying where you work for day job? Yeah, I mean, I have a LinkedIn, man. So if you can Google me and my LinkedIn will come up, or you can type !LinkedIn and it'll share my LinkedIn profile. You're welcome to connect with me over there. I work at a company called OnSpring. We make a GRC platform, a no-code GRC platform, which whenever my job comes up, I always say, like, everything I do on this channel is my opinions, not representative of my employers, has nothing to do with my employers. All the lawyer disclaimers that I should have, just insert them here. Okay, sorry, now I only saw the exclamation behind you are been working on as I wasn't seeing live. Oh, no worries, dude. No worries at all, man. But hopefully that was a helpful explanation. KS, hopefully that helps. Arkin, I'm in for projects. Yeah, man, I don't know what we would do or what we'd work on, but if maybe along the way somebody has an idea, wants to set up a repo and have people start hacking on features, I think that'd be fun. Oxnell, GRC. GRC stands for governance, risk, and compliance. So, if you have to demonstrate compliance with like SOC 2 or SOX, or if you have to demonstrate compliance with GDPR, or you need to do audits for your company, or anything like that. Basically anything in the kind of compliance, governance, risk management. That's what the software is designed to help people do. It's B2B. It's kind of boring. It's not some flashy consumer facing project. What's up, Dogman? How are you, man? Good to see you again. Appreciate you for stopping by. It's very kind. All of you guys who revisit my streams, it's very kind of y'all. I appreciate it. Our wishes. How about a JavaScript one? Yeah, man. JavaScript, C#. I'm fine. I mean, Python's fine too. If you guys want to work in Python, I'll work in Python if that's what everybody wants to do. I just avoid it myself, which I need to stop avoiding it, because I know if I want to be good, if I want to be more skilled when it comes to AI and ML stuff, I need to get friendly with Python. Oxnell, yeah, I know. I just had to make sure. Yeah, it's not a sexy topic, GRC, but it's necessary. That's the good thing about it, right? GRC is a necessary thing that companies have to do, which makes it a good business. Carter sent you a connect. Oh, nice. Yeah, anybody's welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn, obviously. Man, I'm just a small nobody in the middle of Kansas, right? So I'm happy to connect with any of you guys. Cool to hear you use C#. So our development team works in .NET. Our front end is not React based. Our front end is, when our company was being built, it was built in 2011, I think, is when development originally started on it. So you can imagine what the scene in the web dev world was like in 2011. That predates Bootstrap, the existence of Bootstrap. So it's pretty much jQuery, server-side rendering, Razor pages, that sort of thing. Proper .NET framework, NVC type of solution. Oxnell, I used to be SOC level 1. Oh, nice. Very cool. Yeah, so you're familiar with GRC related things. I know I'm a very I'm a very poor GRC professional. I just know some of the lingo because that's the rest of the company is heavily involved in GRC, but I started with our company working in support and then kind of moved to the product side over time. Dog man, I'm good. What about you? Yeah, man, no, can't complain. I actually, I got off work at like 5, and then I fell asleep at like 6:30 and didn't wake up till basically 8 o'clock. And then after I woke up, I decided I was gonna stream. But I'm doing good, man. It's just kind of been a weird evening. I don't usually fall asleep like that in the middle of the day. Arkin, since it seems each of us have different programming language knowledge, let's build a Frankenstein of a project, calling it microservices, then call ourselves microservice architect. Yeah, that would be a great one to put on the resume, wouldn't it? Yeah, I know microservices, and then we can point to this community project that's like it's like a Python script that boots the app, and then the app is like a .NET host that calls Node.js worker processes. We could do all kinds of weird hacky shit, which is kind of more fun, you know? Like, why not? You should make a poll and put it on stream to decide language. Does Nightbot do polls? We should probably do it in the Discord, though, because, like, we probably want to have anybody who's working on it in the Discord. I don't see Nightbot. Nightbot doesn't have Discord. We should probably do it in the Discord, though, because we would probably want... That's probably where we'd want to manage communication around the project. So maybe I put a poll in the Discord. Dogman, what you doing? So, Dogman, the thing I was aiming to do tonight is I have the core, like I have the core heart of the like connection logic for the Discord client worked out. And so what I was doing tonight is I was trying to go through and basically add some locking to places where I'm accessing shared state to prevent race conditions. So that's what I was trying to do. And I haven't done very much because I've been running my mouth a lot. But basically just anywhere where we're reading or we're writing. So like right here, this whole thing needs to be wrapped in a and then we probably should do the same thing here where we say using, yep, I want to do that. Or maybe we want to break, I don't know. If the WebSocket state isn't open, then we should probably break. Let's see. And then we also have some shared state here that we're accessing. So we should probably put all this in a locks. Using This makes the code just look uglier than sin. But there's not really another way. This is much better than a bunch of try catches, but like it just looks ugly. And then we should do the same thing here. We should say using, oh wait. Yeah, I think that's it. I think for right now, that's all the locking we need to do. Because it's okay to call send async or receive async concurrently. I looked that up already. Those methods are relatively thread safe. Oh, we need to await this now. Okay, yeah. I think we're good now. Sorry guys, I'm getting caught up on your messages. Oxnell, I mean, it's a money printing field. Yeah, I mean, it's GRC, right? Everybody needs GRC. Oxnell, you're probably kidding, but trust me, company level infrastructure is built on Python 2.7 script with bash and some Ansible shit. Yeah, I think anybody who's worked in a software company probably can tell you how much stuff is glued together with a lot of bash scripts or PowerShell scripts. Davesh said, hi, hello, Davesh. Arwick says, I have a dumb idea. What if I write some part of it in Fortran? Yeah, I mean, if you want it to be a Frankenstein project, why not? Carter, I work with microservices, and we just need a good service bus and then make sure we have service contracts for communication between microservices. That sounds cool. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I'm not familiar with doing much with microservices myself. Where we work at, it's very much a monolith. Mark, what is this nested nightmare? Yeah, I know, that's it. The using statement doing this asynchronous locking makes it look very ugly. But this to me is a much better dev experience than trying to do, because if I didn't use this lock, right? If I didn't use that lock class, I'd have to do something like semaphore dot wait. Hold on, let me actually create one. I'd have to say var, and it would look even uglier because I'd have to say var semaphore, and then I'd have to say wait async, and then I'd have to wrap everything in a try block and then a finally block, right? So I'd have to do this every time I needed to lock, and then I'd have to put all the code that I want to access shared resource. I'd have to put that all here. And so instead of doing this, I've basically just hidden away this ugliness. I've just abstracted into this lock class using iDisposable. So basically, whenever we leave this scope, we'll automatically release the semaphore. But yeah, it's definitely not pretty, but it's necessary because I have concurrency and I also have multiple threads, and I'm sharing state across those threads and across those tasks. So I need to make sure that I'm not reading state and trying to write state at the same time. I have to have some sort of synchronization. Dogman, I just got my VR. Oh, awesome. What kind of VR did you get in? And what do you think of it? Carter, but then everyone can make a service in their own language. Yeah, I guess that's the benefit of microservices, right? Yeah. Let's break a world record. Bub, Jesus loves you. Well, that's very kind of you to come into the chat and drop a nice message like that. Carter, does your company hire remote devs or is it all in person? So the company is remote, all remote. Well, I should say we're all remote, but there's a large population of employees that are based here in Kansas City, but we hire remote and nobody's expected to come into the office. There's a few people who come in pretty regularly, but there's no expectation for anybody. Macho Man, what are you making? Macho, it's going to eventually be hopefully a Discord bot at some point. Mark is very offended by the nesting. Which I honestly, Mark, I'm kind of offended as well. But what are you going to do? You know, you got to do what you got to do. There's probably maybe some ways I can move things into some separate functions. Although I have to admit, it's not that terrible. I think the deepest nesting I have is like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs. That's kind of the deepest nesting I have at the moment. It's not terrible. It's not beautiful either. The opening bracket in the second line is crazy. I probably moved from where you were talking about. Macho Man, I'm new to coding. What language this kind of looks like C#? It is indeed C#. You have a good eye, man. See you later, Artwork Studio. Have a good night. It looks like the language of nested nightmares. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Mark. Mark, how many years of experience you have with that language? Probably 4 at this point. 4.5. Mark O. Yeah, I mean, when you're having to do locking every time you want to access, you want to check a field, right? Like, what are you going to do, right? I would much rather have ugly nested code than have to debug race conditions. Arkin, 90% of the people who say they are microservice architect don't know much about microservices either. Yeah. I mean, I can see why microservice. I don't know if you guys have you guys built any projects using microservices just in your free time? I built one, and I totally understand why people do it. If you have a large team and you need to work on things in parallel without stepping on each other's toes, it makes a lot of sense. It also frees up all the different teams to use the tech stacks that they want to use. So, like, I totally understand it, but if you're a small shop or only have a few people working on a single project, I can also see it being kind of burdensome to build with microservices. If we actually implement this hobby project, we will be in the top 10% of microservice architect. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people with strong microservices backgrounds in some of these larger tech companies, right? Because that seems to be how a lot of them are architected nowadays. Oxnell, here's what I know about microservices. Some service that glue together with another service that access each other with API keys. Not sure, haven't tried it, to be honest. Yeah, my understanding of it, and Carter might be able to give us more insight since he works in that type of a structure every day, but my understanding of microservices is just a bunch of people talking to each other over HTTP. So like you have common shared contracts about request objects and response objects, but the common layer of communication is over HTTP. Artwork Studio. Hey, Artwork Studios, you're back. That was quick, man. Carter, doesn't look like you guys are hiring right now. Just a PM role open. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're hiring for our team. I know we have kind of a weird setup. We have like a platform team versus a product team. And I don't know of any positions we're hiring for platform, but that opening you saw for the PM role is for our product team. Oxnell, we built one at my job that utilizes building VPS plus EC2, install Elastic Agent, test our detection rules. Oh, interesting. Oxnell sounds like hell. I guess it could be. Mark, are you familiar with Python? If yes, would you charge for a project or for an hour, and how much would be the hourly rate? I have ideas and money, but can't be trusted for creating stuff yet. I don't honestly have an hourly rate at this point. I've never done much freelance work for people. I'd be happy to talk to you about your project. If you want to join our Discord server, or you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I'd be happy to talk to you about your ideas, what you want to do. Carter, we use a service bus for our product, so the microservice communicate happens through that rather than. Oh yeah, I think Carter said that through he said a service. You already said a service bus, didn't you? So yeah, so I guess instead of talking directly over HTTP, you could use a service bus, which probably makes sense for like high volume, high traffic things, right? The service bus is probably a better, more reliable, more resilient way to architect it. What do you use, Carter? Do you mind me asking what do you guys use as your service bus? Do you use Azure Service Bus, or do you guys use something like Rabbit and MQ? Curious. Yeah, the Discord command and the LinkedIn command should work. Okay, I kind of feel like I'm at a point now with this code. Like, I feel pretty confident that this code is doing what it should do. The only problem now is everything I've written so far, I can easily test by just running the app and validating that it does what it's supposed to do. The next set of stuff I need to implement has to do with the gateway, like disconnecting or managing when we reconnect or when we disconnect, or managing when we resume. And in order to implement that and know that I've done it correctly, I need to be able to write tests for it. And so I think I'm at the point where I need to take this code and I need to port it to a proper project and set up a testing project with like a test harness, so that I can that way I can also write tests for all this code I've already written, but also so I can implement the rest of this. So I think that's going to be my next step, is to actually set up a proper solution with a couple different projects in it. But it works. I mean, I'm proud of myself for getting this far with it. Carter, we use Rabbit MQ. Nice. Okay, cool. Very cool, Carter. Oxnell, AWS, man. Yeah, I don't have really any experience with AWS. The only thing I ever think about AWS is every time I log into AWS, I think this console is way too complicated. That's my first thought every time. I don't know. I probably don't want to call it Discord bot. That's probably too generic. Let's call it Steve's bot, or maybe like Steven is a bot. I don't know. Let's see. Let's ask ChatGPT what we should name our bot. Or let's ask ChatGPT what we should name our bot. Well, is ChatGPT down? We can ask Gemini. I don't know. Maybe this is my internet. Slow. Let's see. I'm making a Discord bot. What would be a good name for it? Our Work Studios does subscribe, force people to subscribe. I haven't set that. I haven't done that. I don't even know if you can do that. Be kind of cool if you could. Carter, with the service bus, you can configure it to retry and hold the messages in queue in case of the services are down. Yeah, so Carter, that actually makes sense why you would want then to add a service bus instead of talking directly service to service. Makes 100% sense. Active Territory. Hello, Active Territory. How are you? Raphael, I would totally say hi to you and respond to your message, but I can't read whatever language that is in chat, so I apologize. Penguin, what project are you doing, man? So, Penguin, I have been just, I basically have been writing code to figure out how to manage a connection to Discord. So Discord has a gateway API, which is how you can handle and react to all the different events that happen within Discord, and it's done over a WebSocket connection. So I've been working on implementing the logic to manage that connection, and then at the end of all this, my hope is I can have a nice little Discord bot that I can use with my Discord server. Oxnell, I sent you a connect request. Yes, I just got it. I actually accepted both connect requests that people sent to me this evening, so it's very kind of you guys. I know LinkedIn is like the cringiest of all social media platforms, but for better or for worse, that's where the professional, if you're in the corporate world or you're looking to have a job for a company, that's kind of you. I don't know why you wouldn't be on LinkedIn, you know? All right, let's see. What are these names that came up with? Okay, these are all just, those all seem kind of cliche. I don't like any of those. Oh, Code Corgi's kind of fun. If you guys have ever been to my blog, my blog 404 page, let's see, made up is a corgi. So I guess Code Corgi might be fun. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna start with Steve's bot. Steve's bot. Let's see. Our work studios. To be honest, streaming while coding is an amazing idea because if you don't know something, chat can flame you for it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably why a lot of people. Our work studios. I think that's probably why some people don't stream and code, right? Is because they're afraid of looking dumb or they're afraid of looking like they don't know something. But I'm not afraid of that because I'm not trying to be an expert and I'm not trying to be like the greatest 10x dev in the world, you know? This is just something I like to do and I enjoy it and I have fun, constantly learning. And yeah, so if I don't know something, I'm always happy to be enlightened, you know? what else needs to be here? Make a source directory. I don't know. I think that's it, really. README, license, source. I guess we could put the git ignore at the root. We could also do .NET new editor config. And .NET new. Was it .NET new SLN? Yeah. .NET new. Steve's bot. Barter Dean? I think is how you say your name. Or maybe I'll just say Bad. Maybe I'll just call you Bad because I don't want to screw your username up so bad. What's your tech stack? My tech stack is primarily .NET, C#, TypeScript, Node. I can write front ends and pretty much whatever. React, Vue, vanilla, JS. Oxtel. How and why did you move from being a scientist to get into dev tech? Yeah, so I used to work at a company called Ajinomoto. Let's see, Ajinomoto North America. Yeah, I used to work here. They are a producer of a vast amount of frozen food in a bunch of different categories and a bunch of different spaces. The space I worked in was Ajinomoto the primary one was I worked in our food service business, and primarily I worked in a couple different categories. So I developed things for our Fred's brands of products, or their brand of products, which is like appetizers. And then I also developed pot stickers. So if you've ever been to Costco and seen the Ling Ling brand, or if you've ever been to Walmart and seen Taipei, the Taipei brand, Taipei pot stickers, or Ling Ling pot stickers. Those are products I worked on. And I started there in 2016, and I worked there through 2020. And yeah, I had a really good time. Actually, I think I can find a couple of my products actually are still here on their website. Let's see. Almost every single one of these products on this page right here, I've eaten 100,000 times and helped migrate from manufacturing plant to manufacturing plant. Oh, this one. This was the last big product I worked on that was pretty successful. It was a mac and cheese bite. But yeah, so it was a really good experience. The reason why I moved into dev and tech was because the hours of this job were very demanding. Like I would be at the plant at like 2 a.m. in the morning running test runs and collecting data, running experiments, things like that. And I had two young kids, and yeah, working, 50, 60-hour weeks was just not what I wanted to do with two little ones at home. And that was the primary reason, to try to find something different. Artwork Studios, this is making me hungry, LOL. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the best parts about the job was we got to eat all the time, and I was a food scientist, but primarily focused on research and development of new products. And so we would take trips to different cities, and the whole point of the trips was just to go to as many different restaurants as we could and get ideas for things we could make. So it was a really good experience, a lot of fun. But yeah, Oxnell, was it hard to get and break into dev? Well, I think that's where it goes back to the networking piece. So the company I work for currently, I had known of this company and kind of been in the orbit of the company because my father-in-law was one of the first like 5 employees, and so that's kind of how I was in the that's kind of how I was in the orbit of the company I currently work for. And so whenever I was ready to make a switch or make a change, he had kind of put the word out that like, hey, I think my son-in-law might be a good hire for us. And so if you look at my LinkedIn resume or LinkedIn profile, you can see like I started with my current company in support, and then I just kind of proved myself and upskilled while I've been at this company, which is how that's how I've been able to do more technical things, is just through advancing my own skill set. Rohith, Mac or Windows? Windows right now. Although I don't have anything against Mac. If you had talked to me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have told you Mac forever. Artwork shoes. I wouldn't fight Steven. His dad power is too strong. Yeah, I'm hoping I do bring some dad energy to my streams. Let's see, Sabi, do you build in public? I mean, building SaaS in public. What advice could you give to an introvert trying to build in public? I don't have a SaaS. I do build in public. Like, you can go and look at all I have tons of projects on my GitHub of stuff that I've built and put out there publicly. But nothing that's like a SaaS where I'm trying to make money. If you're looking for advice, that if you want to build in public, it's like a muscle. You've got to do it to get better at it and to feel more comfortable with it, just like any other thing in life. If you feel awkward doing it, it's just because you don't have enough reps. Oxnell, no, I meant from a technical skills perspective. Oh no, for me it wasn't. I mean, like I'm pretty good at learning new stuff. Like, I was originally a personal trainer, then I was a medical scribe. Then I was a food scientist. Now I've been a support analyst, a quality analyst, and now a quality engineer. So picking up new skills and learning new things, both across domains as well as across professions, is something that has been pretty that I've been pretty good at, right? Like learning to learn is something that I've worked really hard at. So it's just about the technical skills was more just about putting in the time and the effort, putting in the reps. I've spent probably at least anywhere between 1 to 4 hours every day for the last 4 or 5 years doing something related to my technical abilities, whether that be writing code or learning how to configure Nginx or setting up a Linux server, right? So like, I spent a lot of time and energy trying to become somewhat adequate at building stuff. Carter, all right, I'm gonna head out, but it was nice meeting you. It was nice meeting you too, Carter. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Appreciate you. Mohammed, hi man, I miss you. Hello, Mohammed. Good to see you, man. We've missed you too here in the chat. Artwork shoes, bro. Your kids have insane bragging rights. Well, no, they don't. I'm just to them, I'm just dad. My kids tell me I'm constantly screwing up my YouTube career because I don't. They tell me I need more gaming content. They're like, Dad, if you put gaming content on your channel, you'd have way more viewers. Let's see. .NET new list. So I want this one, worker. So we'll say .NET new worker, and we're going to put that in something called Steve's spot.worker. Cool. And then we'll say .NET new XUnit Steve's spot.worker.test. Oh, I need to give it the flag. Now we'll do .sln add .NET sln add. Oh, you know what? There's a new solution file format out there. I think I can use I know nobody else may care about this, but if you're a .NET developer, .NET solution X file. This is the new file format. Although I wonder if it works outside of Visual Studio. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole at the moment. Okay, now let's try to build this .NET build. Oh, and we need to set up we need to reference .NET add Steve's bot references Steve's bot worker. Now .NET build. All right, and then we just need to start porting the code that we have already written over to this repo. Oxnell. Well, good luck, Steven. Heading to my bed. See you, Oxnell. Have a good night, man. Mohammed, why did you laugh? Oh, I just think it's funny because you always say I miss you. Artwork Studios. To be honest, imagine coding YouTuber suddenly becoming a CS2 pro. I mean, it's probably a real arc that somebody goes on. What exactly is .NET? .NET is like it basically provides a common runtime for a set of languages for people to build on, right? So it's like I guess the right way to think of it is a cross-platform development. Yeah, like I wonder how they describe it. .NET on their website. .NET. They call it, the way they describe it is .NET is a free open source cross-platform framework for building modern apps and services. So you can basically build .NET apps in Visual Basic or VB.NET, C# and F#, right? And all those languages get compiled to an intermediate language that uses the CLR, and so it allows you to do lots of things in lots of different languages. Yeah, what Artwork Studio said basically. It's basically like a common layer that allows you to build stuff on top. Right? It's like the JVM. If you're like familiar with Java, it's like the JVM from the Java world. Or I guess the CLR would be like the JVM from the Java world, but .NET as a whole is just the platform on which you build things. Provides runtimes, libraries, SDKs, all that good stuff. Josh, so it's similar in a way to JS frameworks? Yeah, I could say it's similar. Kind of similar. Like, they offer similar technologies. I think probably the better approximation between .NET and something in the JavaScript world would be like comparing .NET to Node or Bun or Dino. Is probably a better comparison, right? .NET is the platform on which all the things live and get run, right? But like Node is just a runtime, right? And .NET is not just a runtime. It's a runtime. It's standard libraries. It's providing language support, right? It's like a whole thing. See you, Artwork Studios. Josh Daniels, would it be the .NET he's using in the terminal? So that's where it's confusing because there's the .NET CLI, which is also a part of .NET, the larger .NET platform, right? So the .NET CLI is a way to do things, create projects, create solutions, wire things together. So that's where I say it's like it's difficult to it's difficult to make a side-by-side comparison between what is .NET and some other language, right? .NET is a platform, right? It is itself a platform that things are built on. Dibya, React Native? No, I'm not. I've never written any React Native. I've written React, but I've never written any React Native. I would like to, though. I'd like to have a mobile development arc in my learning journey at some point. But I've never done any mobile development. All right, so I don't know how much more I'm gonna do tonight. I think the last thing I wanted to do was push this up to GitHub. Let's see. Let's put some emojis in here. Under construction. This is a custom Discord bot that I use in my personal Discord server. Or that's what it will be at some point. Actually, you know what I am going to do? I'm going to take the editor config from over here, because I've made some changes to this that I want to keep. And I'm going to put these over here. Yes, I do want to paste. All right, and let's initialize a Git repo. And let's do git add, git commit, initial project setup. And then let's push it up to GitHub. Oh no, sorry. That's not what I do. GH repo create. Push this up there. A custom Discord bot I used in my personal Discord server. All right. Feeling good about that. Topsy, you use Windows? Lame. Ah, get out of here, Topsy. Get the fuck out of here. We 10X programmers only use Mac OS, the supreme operating system. Okay, man. Yeah, my wallet can't deal with Mac OS prices anymore, dude. Can't do it. 32-year-old dad of 2, you know? I got retirement to figure out. I got college funds to fund. I can't be spending $2,000 on 8 gigabytes of RAM. Gabriel, how are you doing, kind sir? I'm doing good, Gabriel. What are you making? I am making what I'm going to start making is I'm going to start making a Discord bot. So what I've been working on recently has been basically, I don't know how familiar you are with Discord's API, but Discord's API requires you to manage a stateful WebSocket connection, or at least their gateway API does. It requires you to manage this connection. And so I've been writing the code to manage this, which is going to be the bulk of the code I write for the project. And then, but then at the end of the day, I'm going to have a Discord bot that lives in my Discord server, which you're welcome to join if you want. I'll put the invite link in the chat there. But then I'm going to use it in my Discord server to do fun things and to automate stuff. Avery. Oh, Nightbot got Avery for some reason. He was posting links, I guess. Nightbot shut you down, Avery. I kind of love that. I love Nightbot's like this third-party actor in my chat, just like dropping the hammer on people. Victor, dude, you should make a video out of this. I'd love to see the process. Oh, yeah, for sure. I can do that sometime. We can recap it in a video. We've been working on it over multiple streams, right? So we could probably do a recap for sure on it. Sudo sys remove. I don't know if you're supposed to run that command. Anything with sudo in the front of it, you should always be skeptical of. All right, guys. Well, I think I might work on starting the port from this playground API over to the. I basically need to take all this code and just port it over to this new project, and then I need to start writing some tests, which should be interesting because I've never really written tests that involve the client WebSocket in .NET, but I think I've written this in such a way that it should be pretty simple. I should be able to mock things out, stub things out. I should be able to write unit tests for this pretty straightforward with the way I've written this so far. But yeah, so to do any more implementation here, I need to be able to write tests, because there's no way I can force Discord to send me like a disconnect, right? There's no way I can force Discord's API to send me a disconnect. So how do I implement the logic to handle disconnects if I can't test it, right? So that's the main reason I need to move to a proper solution now, a proper project. And we've got to start writing tests. I'm sure some people would just implement the logic the way they think it should work and not write tests, but I believe in writing tests. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this evening, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. More to come on this. If you're new here, you're welcome to join my Discord. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I appreciate you. And if you are new here, we usually do stream, usually not this late at night. Usually I stream like 10 a.m. Central and 2 p.m. Central time. So that's my normal stream schedule. But yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out. Victor, thank you, dude. Of course, man. Yeah, I'll see what we can do once we get it all sorted out. Once we actually get to an end state, right, where the Discord bot's actually working, we can do like a video of like how I built a custom Discord bot, something like that. All right, y'all. You guys have a good night. If it's already Tuesday or Thursday, I guess. If it's already Thursday for you, I hope you have a great Thursday. If it's still Wednesday for you, I hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday, whatever's left of it. And I'll talk to y'all later. See you, Victor. See you, Arkin. See you, Avery. Gabriel, Top Z, Josh Daniels. Yeah, whoever else is still here. Appreciate you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.